During cardiac arrest, the quality of CPR is a key determination of the outcome. The compression depth and rate as well as the ventilation rate are the main CPR quality parameters. The current resuscitation guideline recommended a compression depth between the 5 to 6 centimeter and at the rate between the 100 to 120 compression per minute, and the ventilation rate of 12 ventilation per minute for an intubated patient. These targets have been established on the basis of the observational study related to CPR parameter with survival. Today we saw the relation between the EtCO2 and the CPR. The EtCO2 will show the key role during the CPR. It provides the 5 main role. It is one thing is position during the CPR quality during the and it show the return of the spontaneous circulation and the strategy of treatment during the CPR and the termination of the CPR. We can definitely show by the EtCO2. EtCO2 monitoring is the measure of metabolism, perfusion and ventilation. In the ED, we typically think of the EtCO2 as a marker of perfusion and the ventilation, because it will use EtCO2. It show the perfusion of the organs. So EtCO2 is the extremely powerful surrogate for the endotracheal tube position, CPR quality and return of the spontaneous circulation, and the strategy of the treatment and termination of the CPR. As a reminder, EtCO2 represents the amount of the CO2 at the end of the exhalation. The capnography reflects both the number in mercury and the waveform. This shows the EtCO2 waveform, and at the end of the exhale it measures the EtCO2. It is so at the end of the measurement of the EtCO2 and then the restart of the inspiration, it show by the down stroke of the inspirations. The normal value of the EtCO2 is around 36 to 45, and during the CPR it should be around more than the 20 mm of Hg. If it is less than the 20 mm of Hg, is 10 mm of Hg, it means the quality of CPR is not good, and if it is more than 20 mm of Hg, it means the quality of CPR is good. And the first point is we saw the EtCO2. We saw the position of the endotracheal tube by the EtCO2. The verification of ETT placement remind us the physical examination and the fogging in the tube are not reliable to confirm placement. The provider should use EtCO2 detector, waveform capnography and the calorimetry to confirm the EtCO2 position. Ultrasound is also a well-had experience required for the ultrasound for confirmation of the EtCO2. The waveform EtCO2 can be particularly helpful because you may get color change with the first few breaths of the esophageal intubation. This can be misleading and potentially determine the patient, but the waveform does not lie. If the intubation is esophagus, it is not, if ET tube is not going in trachea, this graph show there is no waveform in the EtCO2. It is flat line EtCO2 graph, and we saw by the EtCO2 the quality of CPR. EtCO2 is essentially to ensure the quality of CPR. EtCO2 provides the information and it is mostly reliable, and we should aim to EtCO2 at least more than 10 mm of Hg, and ideally it is more than 20 mm of Hg during the CPR. And these values are approximately 1/4 of the normal EtCO2. Normal EtCO2, I already said, it is between the 35 to 45 mm of Hg, and the ideal CPR will provide at least 1/4 of cardiac output, 1/4 of EtCO2, 1/4 of cardiac index, and 1/4 of EtCO2 normal range. And this is the chest compression should be for the best quality of CPR. The chest compression should be between the 2 to 2.4 inch or maybe 5 to 6 centimeter depth in the chest compression. If the chest compression is less than 2 centimeter, it means it is the quality of CPR is not good. In quality of CPR, the chest compression should be more than 2.4 inch or between the 5 to 6 centimeter. And the EtCO2 also show us the return of the spontaneous circulation. With the use of EtCO2, team may recognize the return of spontaneous circulation before a scheduled pulse check, and an sudden increase in a EtCO2 a normal value 35 to 45 mm of Hg or increase by 10 mm of Hg is about 90% specified. One of the co-founding factor in this, if we use the soda bicarb during this CPR, a sudden rise in EtCO2, it may be does not reflect the return of spontaneous circulation. A main strategy of the treatment will also be we consider according to the EtCO2. The waveform morphology during the CPR can help we decide what the next intervention should be. Example, if it is CO2 dislodgement and the cuff leak and the bronchospasm, the EtCO2 waveform should be come in a flat form. In a endotracheal intubation, it should be so in a waveform, but if it is in esophageal intubation, it show the flat form, and if the cuff leak, it show the flat form, or in case of bronchospasm, it show the waveform is like a spike. It will show you in next slide. This is example of the bronchospasm when the waveform it look like a shark fin. It is so that look like a shark fin, which indicate the expiratory obstruction. This can be seen in the bronchospasm or in a kinking or blocked tube or in a circuit. And in the termination, EtCO2 may provide additional data point when decided whether it is appropriate to determine CPR approximately 20 minutes into a resuscitation. It is likelihood of the return of the spontaneous circulation is significantly higher if the EtCO2 is more than 20 mm of Hg. The much less if EtCO2 is less than 10 mm of Hg. Our take home points message in this slide this is an incredible utility of using EtCO2 in CPR. Example include we can evaluate the position of the EtCO2 during by monitor the EtCO2. We can also evaluate the quality of CPR by using this EtCO2 in the CPR, and timely recognize the return of spontaneous circulation during we can show in EtCO2 in CPR in return of spontaneous circulation in sudden rise of EtCO2 so in the monitor. We can identify the best treatment strategy, so like in obstruction, like in esophagus dislodgement of the ET tube, and we also contribute to the decision to terminate the resuscitation during the CPR by showing in the EtCO2 monitoring. Thank you.